The phone rang at 2:17 a.m. No name. Just a country code, 92. Anna stared at it from her bed, the screen burning like a wound in the dark. She knew better than to answer, but she did. The silence was thick, heavy, and then a voice broke through, brittle and soft. "I did what you asked." It wasn't Anna's voice. It wasn't unfamiliar either. She sat up, heart thudding. "She's not breathing," the voice said. "You promised it would be quick." Anna didn't respond. Couldn't. A faint sound in the background, a child crying. Then, a click. The call ended. That was it. But it wasn't. The room felt colder, smaller, as if the walls were remembering something they'd tried to forget. 6 years ago, Anna buried her sister. She saw the coffin, touched the body, but that voice, that was Olivia. And Olivia was dead. And she didn't sleep. Not for a minute. She didn't cry either, not yet. The air inside the apartment felt like something was waiting to happen, like it had teeth. Anna sat by the window, watching the black skyline thaw into gray. The city moved on outside, but she couldn't. That voice kept echoing, its edges too familiar. Olivia had a rasp when she whispered, like gravel tucked beneath honey. That was her voice. But that was impossible. Olivia was gone. Anna had buried her, identified the body, sat through the eulogy, wrote the obituary. So why did her heart beat like it was 6 years ago again? She opened the drawer beside her. Inside, a single photograph, 2 teenage girls, all tangled hair and mischief smiles. Anna blinked once, twice. "You died," she whispered. But the photo didn't agree. The photo curled at the edges, like it had been scorched. She ran her fingers over Olivia's face, afraid it might vanish. Memories flickered in fragments. A laugh, a shared secret, Olivia's cigarette tucked behind her ear. "This isn't real," Anna muttered, but her voice lacked conviction. The phone buzzed again. She jumped. Another, unknown number. She stared at it, didn't move. It rang 4 times. Then 5. She threw the phone against the wall. It hit with a muted thud and slid to the floor, screen intact. She wanted it to shatter. Proof that this wasn't happening. But nothing broke. Not the glass. Not the lie. And not whatever was still tethering Olivia to her, even now. She found the box tucked deep in the closet, the one she swore never to open again. No labels. No clues. Just heavy tape and heavier memories. She sliced through it with trembling hands. Inside, death certificates, newspaper clippings, the burnt edge of Olivia's old hoodie, and the bracelet melted slightly from the fire. She stared at it. Everything official said Olivia died in that cabin. Alone. That she never made it out. So who was on the phone? And worse, what if she had made it out, and Anna had left her there anyway? The next call didn't ring. It left a voicemail. Anna stared at the notification for hours before pressing play. The voice was clearer this time. "I need you to come back. Please. They're going to find her if you don't." Static flared. Then a second voicemail, rough, distant, "Don't say her name." The recording cut out. No number. No caller ID. Just those words, lodged like glass under the skin. Come back. Anna hadn't set foot in that place since the fire. Since the night Olivia died. But if she was alive, if someone had kept her, then Anna hadn't buried her sister. She had abandoned her. Anna sat in her car for nearly 30 minutes before turning the key. The voicemail kept looping in her mind, each word heavier than the last. She hadn't been back to Halewood since the funeral. That winding stretch of forest road, the scorched clearing, the grave. Her hand trembled as she put the car in gear. She didn't pack a bag. Didn't tell anyone. What would she say? "Hey, my dead sister just called me, Barbie." The trees grew taller the closer she got. The phone had no service now, like it knew where they were heading. As if it remembered. The further she drove, the less real the city felt behind her. Like she'd slipped out of time, or back into something waiting for her all along. The Halewood town sign was barely standing. One bolt, loose. Rust creeping in from the corners. Anna slowed as she passed it, eyeing the empty diner on the left, the gas station boarded shut. Time had stopped here. Or maybe it just didn't matter anymore. Every window seemed to be watching. She pulled into the motel she used to stay at during college breaks. Room 7. The same one she and Olivia shared that summer. The summer before everything caught fire. As she stepped out of the car, a dog barked somewhere in the distance. Then, silence. The town didn't welcome her. It didn't threaten her either. It just observed. Like it knew something she didn't. The room hadn't changed. Same floral bedspread. Same buzzing neon light outside the window. She dropped her bag, just her phone and keys, and sat on the edge of the bed. She didn't know what she was waiting for. Maybe another call. Maybe a ghost. The floor creaked as she stood, walked over to the nightstand, and opened the drawer. Gideon Bible. Pack of matches. An old receipt. The ink almost faded. Dated 6 years ago. Olivia's name scribbled on the back. Anna's breath hitched. She sank to the floor, clutching the paper like it could answer her. It couldn't. But something was starting to. The room felt too full. Like someone else had just left. Or never left at all. She drove to the cabin just before dusk. The road was rough. Gravel and memory. Trees leaned in like they were whispering. The site had been abandoned after the fire. Or so she thought. But as the trees broke, the cabin stood, not in ruins, not overgrown. Rebuilt. Died. Like someone had tried to erase the past with fresh lumber. Anna stepped out, boots crunching over blackened soil, still stained beneath the topsoil. Her hand hovered over the door. She didn't knock. She just listened. Inside, a single sound. Breathing. Shallow. Like someone asleep. Or pretending to be. Olivia, she whispered, and the trees behind her shivered. The door creaked open. Dust danced in a slant of dying light. The interior was eerily clean. No clutter, no dishes, no scent of light. Just stillness. Anna stepped inside. Her boots echoed on the wood floor. A single chair faced the fireplace, but no fire burned. On the mantel, a photograph. Olivia. Not old, recent. Her hair longer. Eyes tired. Alive. Anna's legs gave out beneath her. She didn't cry. She couldn't. A sudden buzzing snapped her upright. Her phone vibrated. One new voicemail. She pressed play. "You shouldn't be here," the voice said. It was Olivia. But not as Anna remembered her. It was Olivia. Afraid. Anna didn't sleep that night. She stayed in the cabin, lights off, listening. Every creak of the floorboards, every shift of the trees outside, felt like a message. She played the voicemail again. "You shouldn't be here." It sounded like Olivia, but drained, as if something had pressed all the softness out of her. Anna stood in front of the fireplace, holding the photo. She flipped it over. Nothing. But beneath it, tucked just under the mantel's edge, she found a second one. Same photo. Different handwriting on the back. "She knows." Anna backed away like the frame had burned her. Something about this cabin wasn't just wrong. It was manipulated. Curated. Someone wanted her here. And someone else didn't. And she couldn't tell whose side Olivia was on anymore. At dawn, Anna drove into town. She needed answers. Proof. The sheriff's station was still there, though barely, paint peeling, porch sagging. Inside, the same man sat at the desk. Sheriff London. He didn't seem surprised to see her. "You back for her?" he asked before she could say anything. Anna froze. "What do you mean?" London gestured toward a file on his desk. "Someone's been leaving things again. Photos. Notes, thought it might be you. He slid the file toward her. Inside, the photo she found, plus a new one. Olivia standing outside the cabin. Last week. Anna's breath stilled. This isn't possible. London didn't blink. It is if she never died. She left the station with the file clutched like a wound. The second photo haunted her. Olivia in new clothes, older, looking directly at the camera. Not scared. Not hidden. Intentional. As if she wanted Anna to see her. Anna parked outside the old church, the one they both used to sneak into at night, to smoke or scream or be alone. Inside, dust settled like ash over forgotten pews. She sat where Olivia once carved their names into the wood. Her hand brushed the initials. Still there, faded but real. "Why didn't you call me yourself?" she whispered. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. This time she answered, and what she heard made her drop it. It wasn't Olivia's voice this time. It was a man's. Hollow, metallic, like it passed through wires that didn't want to carry it. "We trusted you," it rasped. "You promised you'd leave her alone." Static. Then you should have let her burn." The line cut out. Anna stared at the dropped phone like it was radioactive. She picked it up, opened the voicemail archive. But it was gone. All of them were. No messages. No call history. She wasn't imagining this. She couldn't be. But if they were erasing what she heard, then someone was watching her. Listening. Editing her reality in real time. And if that was true, then Anna was already too far in to get out. She returned to the cabin after sundown. Something had changed. The front door was ajar. No sound came from inside, but the air felt electric. Like the moment before lightning hits. Anna stepped in. Her breath caught. On the table, a cassette recorder. Pressed play. Olivia's voice shaking. "They're making me forget. Every time I try to remember you, they take something. A name. A place. My hands don't feel like mine anymore." Then silence. Then a whisper. Anna's own voice distorted. "You said yes." The tape clicked. Done. Anna reeled backward, heart pounding. If Olivia was alive, then she hadn't just been lost. She had been taken. And Anna had something to do with it. She didn't leave the cabin that night. Couldn't. Every sound outside, the wind, the creaking trees, felt like a voice too warped to understand. She played the tape again, and again. The voice on the end, distorted into her own, made her stomach turn. She tried to remember. What had she said yes to? What had she agreed to forget? Anna lit the fireplace, needing warmth, light, anything to remind her she was real. But the flames only threw new shadows across the room. She caught herself staring into one, a corner near the back where the light wouldn't reach. Something in her gut said she wasn't alone. She stood slowly, heart in her throat, and stepped toward the dark. Just before she reached it, the flame popped. Anna flinched. And when she looked again, the shadow was gone. But she knew it hadn't left. It had just learned how to hide better. She found the attic hatch just after midnight. Tucked above the hallway, nearly invisible. She pulled it down, dust falling like ash. The ladder groaned under her weight. Up there, only silence and a trunk. Old metal, rusted shut. It took her 10 minutes to pry it open with the fireplace poker. Inside, more photos, dozens, maybe hundreds, of Olivia. Some from childhood, some recent. Some impossible. Olivia at the funeral. Olivia standing behind Anna at the gravesite. Olivia inside the cabin, watching Anna sleep. Anna dropped them, breath short. This wasn't memory. This was surveillance. "How long have they been watching us?" she whispered. But she already knew. Since before the fire. Since before the lie. Since Anna said yes. Anna drove into town again. This time not to ask, but to confront. Sheriff London was gone. The station dark. Empty. Rah. But the file was still on the desk. More photos now. One from just last night. Anna at a cabin window, her eyes hollow. Someone was close. Too close. As she turned to leave, the lights flickered, then buzzed to life. A radio crackled behind the front desk. Static. Then a voice, Olivia's, barely audible. "You need to stop digging." Anna's knees weakened. "They're listening, always." A burst of static, then silence. The radio went dead. Anna backed out of the station slowly, pulse racing. She wasn't alone in that building. But whatever else was there didn't want to be seen. Yet, dull. Back at the cabin, Anna couldn't stop shaking. She ripped open every drawer, cupboard, floorboard, searching. For truth, maybe. For something that made sense. Behind a loose panel near the floor she found it. A reel-to-reel tape recorder. Plugged in. Still warm. She hit play. Voices flooded the room. Hers and Olivia's, spliced together from past conversation. "I'll help you disappear. They won't find you. You promise?" "Yes." The words weren't memories. They were edits. Reconstructed. She covered her ears. But one voice pierced through. Olivia's, real, scared. "I didn't want to go." Anna whispered. "Then why did I let you?" The recorder clicked off. The room went silent. The only thing she could hear now was her heartbeat and footsteps on the porch. She opened the cabin door. No one. Just the wind. A single envelope lay on the porch, her name scrawled in handwriting she hadn't seen since high school. Inside, a burned page from Olivia's journal. "They offered me a choice. Stay dead, or forget everything and stay alive." Below it, a single line circled in red. "Anna chose for me." Anna collapsed to her knees, breath gone. The lie hadn't been a moment. It had been years, stretched across every silence. Olivia had lived. Hidden, maybe protected. But not by choice. Not entirely. Somewhere out there, her sister was still watching. Still remembering. And maybe, just maybe, still waiting for Anna to make it right. Anna didn't go back inside. She sat on the porch until the light rose fully, not warm, but flat and gray, like the world had paused. The journal page in her hand crackled with every breeze. "Anna chose for me." She kept repeating it, as if saying it might reshape the truth. Somewhere along the line she'd told herself Olivia was better off gone, that the fire had closed a door, not opened one. But now, the door was open again, and Olivia was on the other side. Trapped. Watching. Waiting. Anna stood and looked at the trees. They didn't whisper now. They watched. And beneath their gaze she felt something else. Permission. Or maybe it was a warning. Either way, she was going in. Deeper than before. This time, not to bury the past, but to unearth it. She followed the trail behind the cabin. The one they used as kids to sneak to the lake. But it didn't lead to water anymore. The deeper she went, the more the woods shifted. Trees she didn't remember. Paths that looped where they shouldn't. After an hour she found it, a clearing. Silent, night. No birds. No wind. At its center, a rusted swing set, one she hadn't seen in over 20 years. It had burned in a fire when they were children. Yet here it stood, untouched by time. Anna stepped closer, heart in her throat. A figure sat on the swing, back turned. Long dark hair. Still. She opened her mouth, but no sound came. Her voice had left her. As if even it knew this wasn't a reunion. It was something else. Something older. The gear turned slowly. It was Olivia. Pale, thinner, but older. Visibly worn by time in a place that hadn't aged. Her eyes found Anna's, and didn't blink. "You shouldn't be here," she said softly. Anna tried to speak, but Olivia shook her head. "They let you in because they think you remember. But you don't, not really." Anna stepped closer. "I didn't know what they were asking. I thought you were dead. Olivia smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. No, you just needed me to be. Anna's hands trembled. I want to fix this. Olivia stood. Then listen closely. They're coming back soon, and they don't like it when we talk. They sat together on the swings, like they had as kids. Olivia spoke in low, clipped whispers. After the fire, I didn't die. I disappeared, but it wasn't my choice. She glanced upward, not at the sky, but the canopy, as if expecting something to descend. They keep us here in pieces. Memory, body, time, nothing lines up. I don't know how long it's been. Anna fought tears. Why me? Olivia looked at her. Because you're the only one who left without forgetting. Anna blinked. What did I forget? Olivia's voice cracked. That I asked you to leave me. Silence stretched. Then a sound in the distance. Not an animal, not a branch. Something human and wrong. Olivia stood fast. They're almost here. If you stay, you don't get to leave again. And if you go, you have to bury me for real this time. Anna didn't speak. She just stood, heart fracturing with each step she took back toward the path. Olivia stayed behind. The swing moved once, then stopped. Anna ran, Dottie. The woods blurred. The trees howled, not from wind, from memory. By the time she reached the cabin, she didn't stop. She lit the fire. She burned the photos, the tapes, the cabin itself, everything. As it all collapsed, Anna stood outside, watching, waiting. When it was finally ash, she dropped to her knees. The sky cracked above her. Rain fell. Cold, hard, cleansing. Her phone buzzed once in her pocket. No number. One final voicemail. She listened. Thank you, Olivia whispered. This time, the voice was whole, at peace, and gone. 3 weeks later, Anna was back in the city. Same apartment, same skyline. But everything felt off, like her world had shifted a few degrees sideways. She didn't unpack. Couldn't. She slept on the couch, kept the lights on, kept her phone off. There were no more calls. No more voicemails. The silence was louder than anything that came before it. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Olivia on that swing. The way the trees bowed around her. She wasn't haunted by a ghost. She was haunted by mercy. Anna poured coffee into a cracked mug, her hands steady now. And that was almost worse. Because it meant this was real. All of it. And she was still here. She finally opened the last drawer. The one that held Olivia's old letters, the ones she hadn't read in years. Inside, one envelope she didn't remember ever seeing. No stamp. No postmark. Just her name in Olivia's handwriting. She hesitated, then unfolded the paper. One line, it was always supposed to be you who remembered. No date. No context. Just that. Anna sat down on the floor, the letter in her lap. It didn't hurt to read. It didn't confuse her either. Somehow, she understood. Olivia had never really left, and maybe never could. But Anna had remembered. And maybe that was the only way any of this could ever end. The therapist didn't ask too many questions. She just listened. Anna didn't talk about cabins or fire or voices from the dark. She talked about loss. About memory. About the cruelty of surviving someone twice. Do you believe in ghosts? The therapist asked gently. Anna stared out the window. Not the kind that float. The therapist smiled. But the kind that stay? Anna nodded. Some ghosts live in our choices. The clock ticked. Outside, a car alarm blared and faded. And what do you want to do with yours? Anna looked down at her hands, then back at the window. I want to stop being afraid of remembering her. She returned to the grave. The real one. A quiet plot just outside the city, where a headstone stood beneath an old elm. Olivia Marin, 1991-2019 title. Anna brought nothing but herself. No flowers. No offerings. Just the truth. She knelt in front of the grave and closed her eyes. "I know you didn't want me to carry it," she whispered. "But I am, and I will." Wind rustled the elm's branches gently, like an answer without words. She didn't cry. She didn't run. She just sat, letting the silence become something softer than guilt. Not forgiveness. Not yet. Not. But maybe the start of peace. Later that night, Anna stood at her window again, watching the city buzz with its usual indifferent rhythm. A child's laughter echoed from the street below. A siren in the distance. Life went on. She reached for her phone, turned it on. No voicemails. No calls. Just the default screen, her wallpaper still that same photo. Her and Olivia as kids, all wild hair and reckless smiles. Anna didn't change it. She didn't need to. She knew now. Forgetting isn't what makes you safe. Remembering isn't what makes you weak. Sometimes, remembering is the only way to survive. The screen dimmed. The city lights blinked. And somewhere in the silence, Anna breathed. A month passed. Summer turned to fall. Anna moved through life quieter now. Not numb, just listening. She walked the same streets, drank the same coffee, passed the same bookstore. But the world sounded different. Thinner. Lion. Like a radio not quite tuned. One afternoon in a thrift store she found it, a cassette tape in a bowl of junk by the register. Unlabeled. Cracked. Cheap plastic. She held it in her hand too long. Bought it without knowing why. That night, she sat cross-legged on the floor, with an old player she dug out from storage. Slid the tape in. Pressed play. And wanted. Static. Then softly, the sound of breathing. Familiar. Dot. And beneath it, her own voice, whispering something she couldn't remember ever saying. "She's still here." She didn't sleep that night. Not out of fear, but anticipation. The tape played again and again. The breathing, the whisper. A child's voice in the distance, humming a tune she hadn't heard since they were little. A lullaby Olivia used to sing. Anna wrote the words down. They didn't make sense at first. Fragments, broken lines. Then a phrase stood out. "The roots remember even when the branches burn." She stared at it until dawn. She hadn't heard that line in over 2 decades, not since their grandmother's funeral. It wasn't Olivia's voice on the tape. Not entirely. It was hers. A version of Anna that hadn't survived the fire. Not physically. Not consciously. But something had been left behind, and now it wanted in. She returned to Halewood without packing. The road felt familiar, not in direction, but in weight. As if the trees recognized her this time. Not welcoming. Not resisting. Just knowing. She didn't go to the cabin. Not yet. She drove past it. Took the old dirt trail to the lake, the real one. Fog clung to the surface like breath on glass. She stood at the water's edge. The air so still it felt staged. Then a ripple. No wind. Just motion. Anna knelt, touched the water. It was warm. As her fingers broke the surface, an image filled her mind. A version of herself, underwater, eyes open, staring back. Not drowning. Waiting. She jerked her hand back. The water stilled. But that image stayed. Unmoving. She finally walked the path to the cabin. Or where the cabin used to be. The fire had erased it. Ash and memory returned to soil. But something had taken its place. A tree. Unmarked. Massive. Grown too quickly for a single season. Anna placed her hand against it. It pulsed. Not metaphorically, actually. A thrum beneath the bark. She stepped back. Carved into the trunk, barely visible. AMOM. It hadn't been there before. She hadn't carved it. But it had always been. She sat at its base, closed her eyes, and listened. The woods hummed around her. Then, a whisper from nowhere and everywhere. "You remember. That's all we needed." Her heart ached. but not from fear. From recognition. That night, Anna dreamed. She was a child again, in the forest, chasing laughter through the trees. Olivia ahead, always just out of reach. But this time, when Anna called her name, Olivia stopped, turned, smiled. "You made it back," she said. Anna nodded. "I never really left." They sat in the clearing beneath the moonlight. No fear, no fire, just presence. Just the sound of crickets and wind through the trees. "In the dream," Olivia whispered, "remember me like this." And Anna promised. When she woke, the cassette was gone, her phone blank, her breath steady, and outside her window a single leaf drifted past, slow and weightless, as if something had finally let go.